What if I told you that 32 pounds per square inch, the number almost everyone uses, is slowly costing you tires, fuel, suspension parts, and even braking distance? Same car, same tires, nothing visibly wrong. Yet one wrong pressure habit can cut tire life by 30 to 40%, reduce MPG, and increase stopping distance when it matters most. And here's the scary part. Many cars are delivered from the factory already misinflated. By the end of this video, you'll know why 32 PSI became the default, why it's wrong for most cars, and the real pressure your car actually needs, based on engineering, not guesses. Stay until the end, because the most dangerous tire pressure mistake is the one drivers make with good intentions. Where 32 PSI came from. Ask 10 drivers what tire pressure to use. 8 will say 32 PSI, that's standard. But 32 pounds per square inch is not a rule. It's a convenience myth. Decades ago, many passenger cars were lighter, ran narrower tires, used softer suspension setups. Around that time, 30 to 32 pounds per square inch became a generic average, not a requirement. The problem? Cars changed, tires changed, loads changed. But the habit stayed. The sticker most drivers ignore. Every modern car already tells you the correct tire pressure. Not on the tire, not online, not at the gas station. On the driver's side door jamb sticker. That placard lists front pressure, rear pressure, and load conditions. It's calculated by the manufacturer based on vehicle weight distribution, suspension geometry, braking balance, tire size, and load rating. In other words, it's engineering, not opinion. Yet most drivers never look at it. Section 1. Why the number on the tire is a trap. This is one of the most dangerous misunderstandings. The number on the tire sidewall, often 44 to 51 PSI, is maximum safe pressure, not recommended pressure. That number exists to protect the tire under maximum load, prevent structural failure. It has nothing to do with ride comfort, traction, braking, or handling balance. Using sidewall pressure as guidance is like driving at redline because the engine allows it. What tire pressure actually controls? Tire pressure affects far more than ride feel. It directly controls contact patch size, heat buildup, tire wear pattern, suspension stress, steering response, braking distance. Too low, shoulder wear, sluggish steering, higher heat, higher fuel consumption. Too high, center wear, reduced grip, harsher impacts, longer stopping distance on uneven roads. The right pressure is a balance, not a guess. Section 2. Why 32 pounds per square inch is wrong for most modern cars. Here's the key reality. Most modern vehicles are heavier, have wider tires, carry more electronics, and distribute weight differently. That means many cars today need 35 to 36 pounds per square inch, or 33 pounds per square inch front, / 36 pounds per square inch rear, or even 38 pounds per square inch under load. Using 32 pounds per square inch simply because it's familiar often means the tire is underinflated for that vehicle. And underinflation is the #1 cause of premature tire failure. What longtime mechanics see. Ask experienced technicians what kills tires early. They won't say bad brands. They won't say bad roads. They'll say wrong pressure, checked too rarely. Many shops see outer edge wear on nearly new tires, TPMS lights ignored for months, bad alignment blamed when pressure was the real issue. One veteran tech put it simply, most tire problems start with air, not rubber. Here's where things get interesting. Fuel economy regulations encourage higher tire pressures, lower rolling resistance. But higher pressure can reduce real-world grip, increase uneven wear, degrade ride quality. Manufacturers choose a compromise. Drivers need to understand it. That's why the door sticker exists. It's the tested balance between efficiency, safety, and durability. Section 3. Why front and rear pressures are often different. Open the door sticker on most cars and you'll notice something people rarely question. The front and rear pressures aren't always the same. That's not a typo. Most vehicles carry more weight over the front axle, engine, transmission, steering components, braking load. If you inflate all 4 tires to the same pressure for simplicity, You're ignoring how the car actually carries weight. What happens over time? Front tires overheat and wear faster. Steering response dulls. Braking stability suffers. Rear tires do less work than designed. That imbalance costs tires and control. Here's another detail hiding in plain sight on the sticker. Normal load versus full load. Most drivers carry passengers, haul groceries, load trunks, install roof racks, add aftermarket equipment, but they never adjust pressure. Under load, tires flex more. Flex creates heat. Heat accelerates wear and increases blowout risk. That's why manufacturers specify higher PSI for full load. Ignoring that turns a safe tire into a stressed one. Why cold PSI is not optional. Tire pressure must be checked cold. That means before driving or after sitting for several hours. Why this matters. Tires heat up as they roll. Pressure increases roughly 1 pound per square inch for every 10 degrees Fahrenheit of temperature rise. Check pressure after a drive and you'll overestimate inflation. Then you bleed air. Then the tire is underinflated the next morning. This is one of the most common mistakes mechanics see. Section 4. Temperature changes quietly wreck your settings. Seasonal changes matter more than people think. A 30 degrees Fahrenheit temperature drop can reduce tire pressure by 3 pounds per square inch. That's enough to trigger TPMS, increase rolling resistance, change wear patterns. Drivers who set it once and forget it are often running underinflated in winter, overinflated in summer. Neither is ideal. Why TPMS lights don't save you. Here's a dangerous misconception. The TPMS light does not turn on at optimal pressure, does not warn early, does not fine-tune balance. It typically illuminates only when pressure is 25% below spec. By the time that light appears, wear has already started. Heat has already increased. Handling is already compromised. TPMS is a last resort, not a maintenance tool. What testing actually shows about real-world PSI? Independent safety testing, referenced by National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, has shown over half of vehicles on the road have at least one tire underinflated. Many have all four incorrect, and most drivers don't know their correct spec. This isn't negligence, it's misinformation. People were taught 32 PSI and never updated the habit. Section 5. How wrong pressure damages more than tires. Improper pressure doesn't stop at rubber. It increases stress on wheel bearings, ball joints, bushings, struts, and shocks. Underinflated tires act like soft springs. Overinflated tires act like rigid impacts. Either way, suspension components pay the price. That's why some cars feel worn out early. It wasn't the parts. It was the air. Many drivers inflate higher than spec, chasing fuel economy. Yes, higher pressure can reduce rolling resistance slightly, but it also reduces real-world traction, increases uneven wear, hurts braking on imperfect roads. Any MPG gain is often offset by earlier tire replacement, reduced safety margin, harsher ride. It's a false economy. Let's lock this in clearly. The only baseline that matters is the pressure listed on the driver's side door jamb sticker. That number is calculated after suspension tuning, braking tests, stability control calibration, load simulations, and tire compliance testing. It is not random. It is not conservative guesswork. It is the engineering starting point. Everything else is an adjustment from that baseline, not a replacement for it. Section 6. When it's okay to adjust from the sticker. The sticker is not a prison. It's a reference. You may adjust slightly if you consistently drive long highway distances, you carry additional weight, you live in extreme heat or cold, or you've upsized wheels while keeping proper load ratings. The safe adjustment range, plus or minus 2 pounds per square inch from the sticker, not more. Anything beyond that should be justified by load calculations, not feel. Mechanics who understand tires rarely go beyond this range for daily driving. Section 7. The single worst tire pressure habit. This habit kills more tires than nails, potholes, or bad roads. Setting pressure immediately after driving. Here's what happens. You drive 15 to 20 minutes. Pressure rises 3 to 5 PSI. You correct it down. The tire cools overnight. Now it's underinflated every morning. Repeat this for weeks, and you get outer edge wear, heat buildup, reduced fuel economy, and early tire failure. Drivers think they're being careful. They're actually training the tire to run under spec. How often pressure should really be checked? Forget vague advice like once in a while. Experienced mechanics follow this rule. Once a month minimum, every major temperature change, before long trips. After carrying heavy loads, air loss is normal. Tires can lose 1 to 2 PSI per month even without leaks. Waiting for TPMS to warn you is waiting too long. Section 8. Why tire brand doesn't change the rules. This surprises people. Premium tires don't forgive bad pressure. Cheap tires don't cause pressure problems. Pressure physics doesn't care about branding. A Michelin at the wrong PSI wears just as badly as a budget tire. Sometimes worse, because expectations are higher. Air is the cheapest upgrade your car has. Ignoring it wastes any tire you buy. Many drivers replace tires, see uneven wear, and immediately hear, "You need an alignment." Sometimes that's true, but mechanics know incorrect pressure can mimic alignment wear, especially shoulder wear and cupping. Aligning a car with wrong tire pressure is pointless. The wear pattern comes back. That's why good shops check pressure before adjusting alignment. Drivers often say, "It feels better at 32 pounds per square inch." What they're feeling is usually softer sidewalls, slower steering response, more flex. That's not better grip. That's delayed feedback. True grip is measured under braking and emergency maneuvers, not comfort alone. Manufacturers balance comfort, grip, safety, and wear. The sticker reflects that balance. Section 9. The safety consequence. Nobody mentions incorrect pressure doesn't just wear tires. It changes ABS behavior, traction control response, stability control intervention timing. Those systems are calibrated assuming correct pressure. When pressure is wrong, the car reacts differently in emergencies. That's not theory. That's system design. The real tire pressure rule. Here's the rule mechanics actually use. Cold pressure, set to the door sticker, adjusted only for load. That's it. Not the tire sidewall. Not what feels soft. Not what your friend runs. Not what you've always done. Cold means car parked at least 3 hours or driven less than 1 mile at low speed. Anything else is guesswork. Section 10. How mechanics set pressure on their own cars. This part surprises people. Experienced technicians don't chase comfort. They chase consistency. What they actually do, set all 4 tires to the sticker cold. Recheck after a week. Fine-tune by 1 to 2 PSI only if needed. Then leave it alone. They don't bleed air daily. They don't top off after driving. They don't react to every feel change. Because stability beats obsession. When 32 PSI is actually dangerous. Let's be blunt. Running 32 pounds per square inch can be dangerous if your sticker calls for 36 to 38 pounds per square inch. You carry passengers often. You drive at highway speeds in heat. Or your tires have lower sidewall stiffness. Under those conditions, 32 pounds per square inch causes excessive flex, heat buildup, longer stopping distances, and a higher blowout risk. This is why many tire failures look sudden. The damage happened quietly. Let's anchor cost. A set of tires costs $600 to $1,200 installed. Incorrect pressure can cut tire life by, that's $120 to $480 wasted per set. And that's before alignment charges, suspension wear, fuel economy loss. Air is free. Ignoring it is expensive. The TPMS trap. TPMS is not a precision tool. It's a warning system. Most lights trigger 20 to 25% below spec. By the time it turns on, wear has already started. Handling is already compromised. Heat damage may already exist. TPMS doesn't protect tires. Drivers do. Section 11. The final check you should do this week. Here's what to do next. Tomorrow morning before driving, check all 4 tires cold. Compare them to the door sticker. Adjust evenly. Reset TPMS if required. Drive normally. Recheck in 7 days. That single habit prevents uneven wear, early replacement, false alignment diagnoses, and unnecessary spending. The truth about why this myth persists. 32 PSI survives because it's easy. It sounds safe. It avoids thinking. But cars have changed. Tires have changed. The sticker exists for a reason. Ignoring it is choosing convenience over engineering. Now your turn. What pressure are you running right now? And what does your door sticker actually say? Check it. Then come back and comment both numbers. Because most drivers discover they've been wrong. And catching it early saves more than just tires.